Noah stepped off the shuttle and onto the smooth stone surface of Varela 9, the homeworld of his friend Ralvek. The air smelled faintly of sweet metal and wild fruit. 2 moons hovered above the horizon, casting a soft blue light across the Fuzz Valley. Ralvek was waiting near the edge of the landing pad, his 4 arms raised in greeting. His scales shimmered silver in the fading light. "You came," Ralvek said, smiling wide. "I wasn't sure humans still honored dinner invitations." Noah laughed. "Only when the host is a friend and the food's not still moving." They 2 walked side by side down a glowing path. Alien flowers blinked as they passed, and small creatures zipped through the air like flying glass petals. Ralvek's home was carved into the side of a tall mountain, ancient architecture mixed with soft alien tech. Doors melted open as they approached, responding to their biosigns. Inside, everything was smooth and curved. Lights danced gently across the walls like living paint. The air was warm and smelled like cinnamon and firewood. "She's been looking forward to meeting you," Ralvek said. "Your mother?" Noah asked. Ralvek nodded. "She doesn't meet many outsiders. But tonight is special." Noah tried to hide his nerves. Ralvek had always spoken with deep respect when mentioning his mother Esheriana. She was not just a parent, but a matriarch. Once a high-ranking member of the old Varellan War Council, the dining hall opened before them like a theater stage. A large table floated inches above the floor, lit from beneath by soft amber glow. Strange food shimmered in dishes: crystal fruits, roasted sea plants, and cubes that shifted color as you stared at them. Then she entered. Ishari single quotes na. She was taller than Ralvek. Her long silver hair was pulled back in a regal braid, and her dress was black, wrapped in fine golden threads. Her eyes were not soft like Ralvek's. They were sharp. Watching. Noah stood quickly. She did not smile, but she did nod. "So, this is the human." Her voice was deep and smooth. Ralvek gestured with pride. "Mother, this is Noah, the one I told you about." Esheriana walked toward Noah slowly. She studied him, every movement, every breath. "You are smaller than I expected," she said. "And you're taller than I feared," Noah replied, smiling. There was a pause. Then, to his surprise, she let out a quiet laugh. "Sit," she said. "Let us eat before the truth grows cold." They sat at the table. Ralvek poured drinks, some kind of glowing nectar, and served the first course. Noah tried a bite of the gelatinous cube. It popped in his mouth and changed flavor halfway down his throat. He coughed in surprise. Esheriana tilted her head. "Is the food too complex for human taste?" "No," he said, trying to recover. "It's just different. Good different." Ralvek smiled nervously, but his mother's expression didn't change. As the meal went on, she asked him questions. Not the polite kind. The deep ones. Why do humans destroy what they don't understand? Why do you think Earth belongs in a galactic council it barely understands? Do you believe your war with the Krell was just? Noah answered as best he could, carefully, respectfully, but something felt strange. Ralvek wasn't talking much anymore, and Esheriana. Her eyes kept narrowing every time Noah spoke. Finally, as dessert was served, a sweet root flower soaked in green fire, Esheriana leaned forward. "You remind me of someone I once knew," she said. "Another human?" Noah asked. "No," she replied. "A traitor." The room went still. Ralvek's hand trembled slightly as he picked up his drink. Esheriana's voice dropped low. "There was a time when I led fleets. I commanded battles. I watched thousands die on my orders. Then came the peace, the treaty, and silence. But peace is a mask, and masks always crack." Noah's stomach tightened. This was no normal dinner. Esheriana stood, her tall frame casting a shadow across the table. You think you are here because of friendship. You are not. Noah stood slowly, eyes locked on her. Then why am I here? She walked around the table, closer. Her eyes now glowed faintly. Because something is coming. And before it arrives, I must know. What kind of human you really are. A soft alarm chirped from the hallway. Outside, the sky had darkened, and high above the planet, something massive entered orbit, silent and cloaked. Asterisk, the soft alarm continued to chirp from the hallway, low and slow, like a warning trying not to wake the house. Noah's eyes flicked to Ralvek, who seemed frozen. The color had drained from his face, and his lower arms gripped the table's edge. What's that alarm for? Noah asked, trying to keep his voice calm. Eshariana didn't look at the door. She didn't look away from him at all. It means something has entered our skies, she said. Uninvited. Noah's heart began to pound. A ship? Eshariana nodded slowly. Not one of ours, and not one of yours. She pressed 2 fingers to her temple, and a thin light bloomed from the side wall, a projection screen. It showed a large object drifting just above the upper atmosphere of Varela 9. It had no markings, no lights, no signal. Just a dark mass. I've seen something like that before, Noah muttered. During the Krell War, a stealth carrier. Big, quiet, and built to vanish. Eshariana's voice was sharp. This is not Krell. She turned to Ralvek. Go to the lower chambers. Activate the perimeter field. Ralvek hesitated. But mother, now? He stood up quickly and rushed out, his boots echoing down the stone halls. Noah stepped away from the table. So, this dinner wasn't just a polite visit. Eshariana walked over to a hidden panel in the wall. With a tap, it slid open, revealing a set of armor, dark, gold-lined, polished smooth. It looked ancient but untouched by time. She reached for a piece of it, then stopped. She turned toward Noah. I never stopped preparing for war, she said. Even after the council took my rank. Even after they said I was too dangerous. You're not worried they'll see this as a threat? They already do. She stared at the projection of the unknown ship. That is not here by accident. They know I'm alive. And now, they know I've spoken to a human. Noah took a step closer. Who are they? She looked at him for a long moment, then spoke in a low voice. There's a shadow faction inside the Galactic Council. Silent, powerful, and ancient. They feared my knowledge, my experience, so they buried it with politics. But now they've returned. Noah blinked. And why am I involved? Because you came here freely. Because your kind still surprises them. You ask questions. You disobey orders. You protect things even when you don't understand them. That terrifies them. The screen changed again. Multiple small dropships had launched from the larger object. They were descending fast. They're coming here? He asked. Eshariana nodded. Yes, they want to test me. To remind me that I no longer have power. She stepped into the armor. Each piece latched on with a soft click. Her shoulders squared. Her spine straightened. She suddenly looked like a general again, not a host, not a mother, but a warrior. Noah grabbed the plasma sidearm from his belt holster. Then let's show them power isn't something you lose just because they said so. She looked at him, amused. You're not trained for this kind of battle. I'm not here for training, he said. I'm here for dinner. For the first time, she smiled just a little. Outside. Thunder cracked not from the sky, but from the energy shields activating over the mountain home. Blue light ran along the peaks like a crown. Dropships landed in the outer garden. From them stepped figures. In smooth black armor, faces covered, moving in perfect silence. Noah and Eshariana stepped into the main corridor, side by side. You don't have to fight, she said quietly. I know, he replied. But I want to. Then don't hold back, she said, her voice like steel. The lights in the hallway turned red. Boots pounded the outer steps, and the once peaceful dinner turned into something much more dangerous. The front of the mountain home lit up with weapons fire. Dropships had landed in the garden, their hatches hissing open. Black armored soldiers marched out in silence. They didn't shout. They didn't speak. They moved like machines, fast and sharp. Noah stayed close to Eshariana as they walked through the hall. The walls shifted and reshaped, revealing built-in defenses, turrets, blast shields, and energy lines glowing through the floor. You built all this into your house? Noah asked, stunned. She answered without turning. I don't live in a house. I live in a fortress. The main doors burst open with a loud blast. One of the invaders stepped through, a tall figure, armor shaped like flowing black glass. Its weapon locked on Noah immediately. Eshariana raised her hand. Before it could shoot, a golden pulse of energy blasted from her palm. The armored soldier slammed into the wall and shattered like brittle stone. Noah stared, eyes wide. That wasn't tech. It wasn't, she said calmly. She stepped forward as more enemies stormed in. With each motion of her hands, golden lines of power cut through the air. Some attackers froze in place. Others dropped their weapons and collapsed, minds overwhelmed. Noah raised his sidearm and fired beside her, picking off the ones who tried to flank. They don't feel fear, he said. They don't need to. She replied, they are controlled. The last soldier in the hall tried to retreat. Eshariana grabbed him mid-air with a flick of her fingers. The armor cracked as he hovered. She looked into the glass mask. Who sent you? The soldier didn't speak. Then his body started to shake. Eshariana's eyes narrowed. They've activated a self-wipe. A blast of smoke burst from his helmet, and he fell limp. Dead? Noah asked, erased. She let him fall. Ralvek's voice echoed over the comms. Mother! The lower sensors show more drop pods incoming from the east side. How many? She asked. 6, heavily shielded. One of them isn't like the others. She paused. The controllers arrived. Noah looked at her. Controller? Each squad is guided by one living mind. Stronger, smarter, not fully machine, not fully alive. And what do we do with it? We remove it, she said coldly. They moved fast through the twisting halls. Noah felt like he was inside a living maze, walls changing, bridges sliding into place, lifts dropping them deeper underground. They reached the east platform just as the enemy squads began cutting through the outer doors. Ashari now moved her fingers through the air, leaving golden shapes in her wake, ancient symbols, spinning fast. The ground shook. The floor beneath the attackers broke open. 2 of the pods fell into a pit of fire. The others jumped back, but then the largest figure stepped forward. It wasn't like the rest. It was taller, broader, with white light flowing beneath its armor. Its voice crackled through their ears, not through sound but thought. You should have stayed hidden, Eshariana. The council does not forgive. Noah winced. That thing's in my head. Shield your mind, she ordered. Focus on your breath. Block it out. Eshariana stepped into the open. I was part of the council once, she said aloud. I remember what it was supposed to be. The figure raised a hand. And we remember what you nearly destroyed. You feared freedom. You feared the truth, she replied. That's why you sent these puppets. The controller charged, faster than Noah expected. But Eshariana didn't move. She dropped to one knee, slammed her fist to the ground, and the floor cracked with golden energy. Controller stopped mid-step, frozen by invisible chains of light, but its body pulsed. A strange energy pushed back. Noah stepped forward and fired once, twice into the cracks of the armor. The shots didn't kill it, but they broke the chains. Eshariana stood again. Breathing heavier now. He's stronger than I expected, she said. The controller roared not with sound, but through pressure in the air. Ralvek arrived at the platform behind them, panting. There's more on the way. I can feel it in the ground. Eshariana turned to Noah. This ends now. Any plan that doesn't involve dying? Yes, she said. We kill the controller. Together. She held out her hand. Noah took it without hesitation. Energy surged between them, her power flowing into him like fire through a river. Their eyes both glowed, now hers gold, his blue dot, and as the controller lunged again, they charged together. To meet it. Noah had never felt anything like it. The moment Eshariana touched his hand, his body filled with burning light. It didn't hurt, but it was powerful, wild, fast, like holding a lightning storm in his chest. His vision blurred, then sharpened. The air around him glowed blue. He could hear everything, the hum of weapons, the hiss of broken walls, even the heartbeat of the massive controller charging toward them. Don't fight the current, Eshariana said beside him. Let it guide you. The controller roared. Again, its armor cracking with white light. It raised a massive weapon, a hammer pulsing with force, and slammed it down toward them. Noah moved faster than ever before. He rolled to the side, fired his plasma pistol, then lifted his hand. A sudden blue blast shot from his palm. It wasn't tech. It was her energy flowing through him. The bolt hit the controller in the shoulder and staggered it. Eshariana didn't waste a moment. She stepped in, her body glowing golden, and struck the controller with her fist. A shockwave burst outward, sending chunks of metal and stone flying. The controller crashed against the far wall. It didn't stay down. Its armor twisted, healed, and glowed even brighter. Regeneration? Noah asked. Yes, she said grimly. They designed it to outlast any normal fight. Then we can't be normal. The controller charged again. Noah and Eshariana moved together like they shared one mind. His shots weakened its armor, exposed weak spots. Her strikes shattered those spots open. They flowed like wind and fire, human skill mixed with ancient alien force. Ralvek watched in stunned silence as they pushed the enemy backward, step by step. But the controller changed tactics. Suddenly, its body split into 3 clones made of energy and armor. All 3 forms moved in different directions, fast and deadly. Noah cursed. That's cheating. Eshariana growled, her eyes narrowing. It's trying to divide us. She threw him a look. Trust me? He nodded. She reached forward and tapped his forehead. A second later, their minds linked. Noah gasped. He saw flashes, memories not his own. The battles from another era. Stars burning. Ships exploding. Her hand holding a blade of light. A child crying. A council shouting. Her exile. And beneath it all pain. A great sadness buried deep. Then it was gone. But something new remained. He could now feel where the real controller was. That one. He shouted, pointing left. Eshariana hurled a spear of golden light into the false clone. It shattered into smoke. The real controller raised its hammer again, but Noah leaped and drove his blade into its leg joint. It howled. Izhari single quotes now landed behind it and whispered a word. The armor around its chest exploded. The controller stumbled, sparks flying from its core. Noah raised his hand and poured all the energy she had shared with him into one final blast. Controller dropped to its knees. Its voice entered their minds once more, but weaker. You have changed. Eshariana stepped close. No, I remembered. She touched its chest, and its light died. The body fell forward and shattered. The platform was silent. Noah dropped to one knee. Chest heaving. Izhari single quotes Na stood tall, breathing heavy but steady. Ralvek rushed to them. You did it, he said. Looked at Noah. We did it. Noah stood slowly, wiping dust from his arm. So, dinner's over, I guess, she smiled faintly. Dessert is survival. But her expression changed as she looked up at the screen again. Another ship was arriving, this one larger than the last. Its shape was strange, like an open hand reaching across space. Ralvek's voice dropped. That one isn't a controller ship. Noah narrowed his eyes. What is it? Eshariana's voice was cold. It's the one they never send unless they're afraid. Noah swallowed. Afraid of what? Afraid that I'll speak, she said. She turned toward the ancient control panel and placed her hand on it. They buried me to silence me. But now, she opened a secure channel 1 connected to dozens of distant worlds. I think it's time I reminded the galaxy who I am. The message spread faster than anyone expected. Eshariana's voice, calm and strong, echoed through systems once forbidden to her. Her face, once erased from official history, now appeared on hidden channels, rebel comms, and even old galactic news satellites that hadn't been used in years. She spoke not of war, but of truth, of the Council's secret army, of the silent, black-armored hunters who erased people instead of facing justice. Of a time when peace was a cover for control. And, most of all, of the ancient hand behind it all. The Council's shadow core. As the message echoed across space, people listened. Not everyone believed it. Some turned off their screens. But others leaned closer. Whispers began to stir. Across colonies, across broken fleets, across both human and alien lands, something was waking up. Inside the mountain base, silence filled the room after the broadcast ended. Noah leaned against the wall, arms crossed, watching the screen fade. You just painted a target on your back, he said quietly. I removed one that was already there, Eshariana replied. Ralvek paced. Nearby, anxious. That ship still hangs above us. It's not moving, not attacking. It's just watching. Because it's not a warship, Eshariana said. It's a collector. Noah frowned. What does that mean? They don't come to fight, she said. They come to take. To erase. People, places, entire cities removed from memory. Quietly. No destruction. No fire. Just gone. Ralvek's voice trembled. But why? Because they fear ideas, she answered. And the memory of who we used to be is the most dangerous idea of all. The ground shook slightly. A deep hum vibrated through the mountain walls. Noah stepped to the window. Outside, the landscape shimmered strangely, as if the air itself was bending. That's not natural. It's not, Eshariana said. The collector is preparing its veil field. Once it activates, this entire region will vanish from galactic sensors. No message in or out. And then? Noah asked. Then they move in quietly, wipe what's left. Ralvek's eyes widened. But we've already sent the message. People saw it. Yes, Eshariana said. But now they'll try to erase the source. If they remove me, the story becomes rumor again. Noah stepped closer to her. Then we can't let them take you. She looked at him. If I leave this world, they'll follow. I can't outrun their reach. Then don't run, he said. Strike first. Eshariana raised an eyebrow. With what? Noah opened his pack. Inside was a cube, small, metallic, blinking with soft red light. I didn't come here empty-handed, he said. This is Earth Tech, cloaked beacon bomb. Carries a burst worm that sends out an emergency signal on every old human military channel. That won't stop the collector, Ralvek said. No, Noah replied, but it will bring eyes. A lot of them. Fighters, pirates, old soldiers, anyone still loyal to the Alliance. Eshariana stared at him. You risked bringing that. Here? I figured I might need to cause trouble, he smiled. Guess I was right. She looked down at the cube, then at Noah. "You're reckless," she said. "I'm human," he replied. "We get loud when people try to shut us up." The collector ship outside began to change shape, panels folding, glowing with deep purple light. It was almost beautiful, like a flower blooming in reverse, but the hum grew louder. Ralvik's screen flashed. "It's starting," he said. "Field spread is activating." Eshariana moved quickly to the core chamber. "Now." They rushed down the side hallways, past layers of old systems and defensive locks. At the center of the mountain was a chamber Noah hadn't seen before, circular, ancient, and lined with symbols. At its heart was a silver spire wrapped in golden wires, pulsing with energy. "This is the planet's root node," she said. "One of the last remaining from the pre-council era. If I link with it, I can boost your signal tenfold." "But it will expose you," Noah said. She nodded. "Yes." Ralvik moved beside her. "Then I'll link with you." She hesitated. "It's too dangerous." "I'm your son," he said. "And I believe in what you're doing." She placed a hand on his shoulder. Then she turned to Noah. "Place your beacon." He knelt beside the node and clicked the cube open. It glowed red, then blue. "Ready." Eshariana and Ralvik pressed their hands to the node. Light exploded. Golden waves burst through the walls, racing across the surface of the planet. Above them, the collector ship froze, and for the first time, it sent a message back, a single sharp word: eliminate. Asterisk, the word echoed through the mountain like thunder. Eliminate. Noah didn't need translation. It was clear. The collector wasn't going to wait anymore. The spire room began to shake. Lights flickered. High above, the sky turned violet. The collector ship had changed. Its outer shell cracked open like giant ribs, revealing a smooth orb glowing at its center. Izhari single quotes now opened her eyes. The link with the node had boosted her energy, but it came at a cost. Her skin shimmered with heat, and her breath came heavy. Ralvik dropped to one knee beside her. "I can't hold the current. Let go," she said softly. "I'll take the rest." "No," he said. "I am your mother," she whispered, "but I was a warrior first." Noah stood between them and the beacon. The cube pulsed harder now, red light blinking faster. The signal had gone out, no doubt about it. Someone somewhere would hear it. Someone would come, but would they make it in time? The mountain groaned. Ralvik pulled away from the node and stumbled back. Eshariana remained still, her hands glowing deep gold as she held the link open. Outside, the collector began firing. Not bombs. Not lasers, but light. Strange, blinding threads of white light fell from the sky, silent, slow, but deadly. Everything they touched vanished, not burned, not shattered, just gone. Fields disappeared, trees vanished like dust, and the mountain was next. Bran, the rebel leader from an old network of fighters, appeared on the comm. "We've picked up your signal, Noah. It's everywhere. Half the old systems are waking up." "You did it." "Great," Noah said. "Now tell me someone's coming." "We're mobilizing fleets," Bran answered. "But they'll arrive too late." Eshariana opened her eyes, voice low. "Not if we stop the collector from finishing the veil." Ralvik stood beside her again. "There's a failsafe." "Isn't there?" She nodded. "The node can send a counterpulse, a disruption wave. But it requires a full-length fusion mind, memory, and life energy. It will collapse the collector's veil, but I won't survive." Noah shook his head. "There has to be another way." Eshariana smiled sadly. "That is the other way." Ralvik stepped forward. "Then we'll share the cost." She turned sharply. "No, I won't lose." "You too. You won't," he said. "You'll become part of me." Before she could stop him, he placed his hands on the node beside hers. their energies mixed gold and silver, flowing like stars into the spire. Noah stepped back as the room filled with light. The mountain cracked again. The collector's light beam hit the outer layer of the spire chamber. Noah grabbed the cube and sprinted down the corridor. "You're not dying for nothing. I'll make sure they see it." Behind him, the spire exploded in light. The pulse burst upward, breaking through the mountain's peak like a golden blade. It struck the collector in midair, and for the first time the ship shuddered. The veil field collapsed, the sky cleared, and the collector stopped moving. Noah looked up from the outside. The ship's glow dimmed. It drifted slowly, its systems failing, but the price had been paid. He returned to the ruins of the chamber. There, in the heart of the light, were two shapes, dust and echoes of Esheriana and Ralvek, fused into a glowing crystal core. Drop to one knee, breathing hard, and place the core in his pack. "You stopped them," he whispered. "You didn't vanish." High above, for the first time in decades, distant stars lit up with movement. Hundreds of old ships, pirates, freighters, warships answered the signal, and a human voice came through the static. "We got your message, Varela. Hold the sky. We're coming." The stars burned brighter over Varela 9. For the first time in generations, fleets returned to orbit, not to attack, not to conquer, but to stand guard. Old warships flew beside repurposed cargo freighters, pirate vessels, and even abandoned planetary haulers. Humans, aliens, and forgotten rebels answered the call Esheriana had sent, and they came for her, but she was gone. Her sacrifice and her sons had stopped the collector. The pulse that rose from the mountain's core had done more than destroy the veil. It had spread across subspace, revealing all hidden activities of the Council's shadow core. Truth, once buried, had now taken root. Noah stood at the edge of the mountain ruins. Wind blew over the broken stone, carrying dust and golden sparks. In his hands, he held the glowing crystal, the fused essence of Esheriana and Ralvek. He didn't cry. He simply stood quietly, letting the weight of their gift settle into his chest. Behind him, Commander Brand stepped closer, her face worn and serious. "They'll try to twist this. Turn her into a myth, a story. Easier to erase that way." "She was real," Noah said. "I won't let anyone forget that." Bran nodded. "And what will you do now?" He looked at the sky, at the hundreds of ships slowly forming a protective ring around the planet. "I'm going to speak," he said, louder than they ever did. He returned to the cum station buried under the hill and sent out one more message. This time his own voice carried across space. "My name is Noah. I'm human. I stood beside Esheriana of Varela 9 the day she gave everything to stop a silent war. She wasn't a threat. She was a warning and a promise. The galaxy belongs to all of us, not the few who hide behind lies." The signal pulsed outward, bouncing across relay stations, picked up by old listening posts, passed along by curious traitors and old rebels. Some turned it off. Others listened, and more began to speak. In the following months, the Council's shadow core was exposed. Investigations began, alliances shifted. Worlds once silenced found their voice again. The name Esheriana became a banner not just of power, but of truth. The collector ship, now lifeless, was towed and studied. No other ship like it had ever been found, and the crystal Noah carried? He placed it inside a new monument on Varela's highest ridge where the sky was clear and the stars could be seen best. Not a grave, but a light. A place where anyone could come to remember. He often returned there not to mourn, but to listen. Because sometimes, when the wind was right and the stars aligned just so he could almost hear her voice again. Calm, strong. Dinner was only the beginning.